Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. It is coming, the hammer of justice, baby. This is such good news. So much is happening, guys. President Trump and the Senate just confirmed 48 Trump judicial nominees with a single vote using the nuclear option. This worked big time. Chuck Schumer is so furious, but you know what? We don't care. We're working to drain the swamp big time. That's what I'm talking about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm telling you, we need Trump's judges to get in there, siding with Trump, pushing forth the MAGA policies in order to continue the MAGA winning. The House just passed with the Republicans solely, big time, a short-term government spending package to avert the end of the month shutdown that everybody always gets scared about, because it's like it doesn't happen at the same time every single year. But they are sending this bill now to the Democrats, the Democrat and the Republicans in the Senate, where the Democrats are vowing to sink the measure because they have stated that they want to make sure that illegals that are still here have the opportunity to have health insurance. Guys, you're about to hear it. We're going to show you the receipts in just a moment. But the legislation was crafted by Republicans without Democrat input. And that dynamic reflected in a 217 to 212 vote, with the Republicans winning. Two Republicans, Representative Thomas Massie and Victoria Sparks, opposed the legislation to protest deficit spending levels they deem too high. And I'm telling you guys, let me tell you this. It's 7 weeks. That's how long this bill is to pay for the government. They just got back from a month-long recess. I don't know who the heck is running Congress, but this doesn't make any sense. And it's just been exposed that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in Congress are demanding free health insurance for illegal aliens, $500 million for NPR, because they want their money for their propaganda machine, and a $1.5 trillion spending increase to the national debt in exchange for averting the government shutdown. Don't you just love it how the Democrats just love to spend money on God knows what? They're such an America Last policy. Man, this is mind-blowing. But again, we are exposing everybody. Also, did you know that many liberal states are giving taxpayer-funded grants to Antifa groups that register as nonprofits? In Oregon, taxpayers fund Antifa legal groups that provide free legal aid to violent Antifa members who are charged with felonies. Now that Trump has designated them as a terrorist organization, all this is about to be reversed. But just think about how long these NGOs use our taxpayer-funded money to bail out criminals out of jail who are committing crimes and felonies, putting them back on the streets. We are literally funding our own chaos because of who is the judges, who's making the laws. Like everything that we're about to expose to you, you can't make this stuff up, but it is 100% just showing you how evil and corrupt our current society is and why we have to drain the swamp and fix it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The Trump administration this is a big one, y'all. This is a big one. The Trump administration is considering raising the retirement age of Social Security with the stopgap shutdown bill in order to solve and make sure that it has the funds necessary to continue paying out to Social Security recipients. So again, this is negotiations and what they're talking about with the Trump administration of raising the retirement age for Social Security. Big change, y'all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And you're going to love this one, guys. Oh my goodness, you're going to love this one. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr says it may be worthwhile to investigate whether ABC's The View, I know y'all love The View, is violating broadcasting rules following Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. Big news today, guys. So much breaking news is going on. I love it. I first want to say thank you to everybody for wishing me a happy birthday. Yesterday was my birthday. A lot of people saying, how old are you, Joel? I'm 29. I'm holding on 29. I've been for a couple of years, but y'all can take a guess in the chat how old I am. But I want to say thank you so much to everybody that has blessed the channel, blessed our giving, that is blessing members and the growth of members on our channel. I want to give some special love to those that gave yesterday. Mr. Tracy J. Norby, OG of the channel, giving so much memberships. Thank you so much, Kathy Brewer, Chris Prez, to all those Jogo that gave yesterday. Carla Thomas, Stephen Lewis, Heather Schmid, Denise A. Already Carla Thomas gifting another 5 True Life News memberships. If you got a free membership, show Carla some love in the chat. Thank y'all so much for your support. Me and my family are so thankful that we have this family online, that we can come out and just be blessed with you all and blessed in our giving as we continue to help bring good in this world. And I want to say, if you're watching, if you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, joining our family. We want you here. We want to take care of you. And thank you to everybody that just supports our channel through being a member or a super chat. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, this really does do a big help with us getting more views, getting our voice out there. Again, guys, there's so much going on still with the Charlie Kirk and his assassination, all that stuff we're going to give you in just a moment. But we got to carry on this mantle. America first, freedom of speech. And we got to continue bringing forth what makes America the best, bringing the receipts, and that's what we're going to continue to do in honor of Charlie Kirk. But I want to say thank you again to everybody for your birthday wishes. Y'all are the best. We got so much going on today, guys, and I'm telling you, people are leaning in and things are about to change because we are shining the light on all the corruptness. Listen to this.
Obama says the First Amendment is dead. Quote, this is precisely the kind of government coercion that the First Amendment was designed to prevent. And media companies need to start standing up rather than capitulating to it. Do David and Barack understand that Trump didn't suspend Kimmel? His boss, Bob Iger, suspended him. And Obama knows a lot about government coercion. His IRS targeted the Tea Party. Biden forced big tech to censor us for telling the truth about COVID and for telling funny jokes about Fauci. And the same people complaining now loved that. They wanted more of it. Since the beginning of television, hosts have been suspended for being wrong, dumb, racist, sexist, obnoxious, crass, crude. They're so out of touch with who Charlie was and what he symbolized and the threat level we're all facing that they can't show the grace and empathy that you'd expect from a healthy, well-adjusted adult. Kimmel's not the victim. Charlie was. Charlie's dead. Kimmel's on paid vacation. This could have all been avoided if Kimmel had just cleaned it up the next night. One of the reasons he didn't is because he's disconnected. He doesn't have Republicans on his show. He doesn't talk to people outside his bubble. He doesn't understand anyone he disagrees with. He doesn't know anyone he disagrees with. If he did, whole thing would never have gotten this far. And this is a problem that affects the whole party. They rally around the wrong guys. Guys like Colbert and Kimmel and Avenatti, Smollett, or the Maryland dad. Rich snobs, liars, crooks, and illegals. But they won't rally behind families or workers, or cops, or people like Irina, who get stabbed to death on a train. Or heroes like Daniel Penny, who saved people from being stabbed to death on a train. Or even just the idea of Charlie Kirk. Someone who's...
Let me tell you this. It's getting so bad. There's been so many threats against MAGA people, guys. Listen to this. That the House members are going to get $10,000 a month now for personal security after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Think about it. There's 438 House members. Let's just do the math real quick. There's 438 House members getting now $10,000 a month for security. That's $4,380,000 a month times 12. That's $52,560,000 that we're now spending in additional security for House members because they've taken it too far. This is big, big stuff, guys. This didn't exist before, but now every single member is getting a huge bump in personal security. Why? Because we can't tone down the rhetoric. The more they keep calling us fascists and Nazis and Hitler and all this stuff, and they don't see the problem that they've created that is costing taxpayers more money. Let me know your thoughts. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for your support. It really does help out so much. We want to say Sandra J.G. Thompson, welcome to the family. Let's go. Y'all show Sandra some love in the chat. And Georgina Budney, member of the channel. Number 1, I love it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Show Georgina some love in the chat, everybody. And don't forget to show Carla some love in the chat for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. This is big, guys, because I'm telling you, the more and more that we fight this and the more and more that people don't realize what's going on, it's always going to cost us more. Let me know your thoughts on whether these House members should be getting extra security.
Life was taken just for talking to them. Mickey Mouse pulled the plug, and Jimmy Kimmel's not happy. ABC suspended his late-night show indefinitely. He was spotted storming out of the studio last night and hopping into a getaway car. Even across the pond, Trump couldn't resist.
Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago.
So why'd Kimmel get benched? He falsely framed you for killing Charlie.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Almost half of ABC's affiliates were threatening to black out his show that night. Advertisers were burning up the phones. ABC executives were getting flooded with emails. Disney boss Bob Iger wanted Kimmel to apologize. But Kimmel said, "No way, Bob."
Wow.
Jimmy wanted to go on his show last night, and in his monologue, I hear that he wanted to address the backlash from the right regarding his commentary about Charlie Kirk's charged killer. And I hear that that monologue was very hot. It very much took aim at MAGA, and that is when the executives said, we can't have him go on the air tonight.
Little Jimmy.
Let me tell you this, and again, it's not stopping. AOC literally went on the House floor and has been in a total rant going after everybody. Charlie Kirk and even Marjorie Taylor Greene posted this, everybody. Let me know. This is from Representative MTG. We love MTG. She's a true MAGA patriot. She said AOC is trashing Charlie Kirk right now on the House floor. She is lying about him and again repeating the same vile garbage, at the same time claiming to pray for his family and denouncing his assassination. There is no way forward with these people. That is it right there. Again, can you even work with people that literally will lie because they have this debate free speech thing on the floor where they can lie and say whatever they want and never be held accountable? And then think that, oh, we're going to work together, we're going to be unified. It doesn't work that way, and we're seeing it in real time. All this has just happened moments ago, guys, that I'm showing you. And people, even to the point where 58 House Democrats voted against the resolution honoring life and legacy of Charlie Kirk. Now, I know that there's some people that don't agree with what he said, but you have to agree in the way that he did it. Never violent, always open debate, always giving the other side a platform to be able to voice their opinion the way that we all wanted it to be, non-violent, and yet they still took his life. How do you negotiate with people that can't even come to a common ground of that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Chris Prez, brother, thank you so much for the 20 True Life News gifted memberships. OG of the channel. Thank you so much, brother, for your kindness. If you got a free membership from Chris, show him some love in the chat, everybody. Such a blessing in our giving with the partnership of you all in the memberships, the super chats. We appreciate you so much, Chris. True OG of the channel. And we're going to do this, guys. Regardless of the other side, we're going to continue to spread the good in this world.
Kimmel thought he was bigger than Disney, bigger than Mickey Mouse. Charlie Kirk's body isn't even buried, and ABC affiliates are refusing to air his show. They're on the brink of an advertiser boycott, and this guy's not even in first place. And he says, let's go another round. So the boss said, take a breather, Jimmy. You're costing us a fortune and making us look like we don't have a conscience. After the biggest assassination since Martin Luther King, the face of your network can't lie about the shooting and pin it on MAGA. Sounds like an easy call to me. But the left thinks America as a country is finished.
This is a major moment in American history. This is a crossing of the Rubicon.
There may be no democracy to save a year from now. This is a red alert moment.
If you're not paying attention now and doing something about it, well, then you're going to have to sit down the rest of your life because democracy is being taken away.
Ribs want libs to do something about it. Well, they already shot Trump and killed Charlie. What does he have in mind? Charlie Kirk got murdered in cold blood for speaking his mind. But a comedian getting suspended is the turning point in American history? Fang Fang's boy toy, who never fought for any of your jobs, is fighting for Jimmy's.
You are wearing a hat. What does that hat say?
You're damn right I am, John. I was a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. He, every night, has a right to come into any house that wants to watch and entertain Americans, just as Greg Gutfeld on Fox has a right to be not funny and go on his network and entertain.
Wow.
You don't have a right to say whatever you want on network television. They're public airwaves.
I want to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you, if there's anything that we do is we bring the receipts and we show you that, you know what, when you post something or you say something online, you better be careful because guess what? It's always there. Look at this. Kamala Harris in September 30th in 2019 said, look, let's be honest. @real Donald Trump's Twitter account should be suspended. That's what she said. A president of the United States, his account should be suspended. But then, whenever Jimmy Kimmel gets kicked off, we are witnessing is an outright abuse of power. This administration is attacking critics and using fear as a weapon to silence anyone who would speak out. Media corporations, television networks, newspapers. We cannot dare to be silent or complacent in the face of this frontal assault on free speech. The most hypocritical people in the world, guys. You have it. You're seeing the receipts right on screen. This is what I want. This is why I thank you so much when you share our videos, when you like our videos, because people need to see this. Stop, literally, it's the pot calling the kettle black. Stop saying one thing, but then when it comes to you and to these people, certain people, oh, it's okay. And guess what? I got to show you this as well. Some people are mentioning it in the chat. That the FCC, it may be looking into our friends at The View because they may be in line with what Jimmy Kimmel did too as well. And I'm in this right here. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr says it may be worthwhile to investigate whether ABC's The View is violating broadcasting rules following Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. If you get free broadcasting, guess what? You can't just say whatever you want. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys. Thank you so much for your support. And don't forget to show Chris Prez some love in the chat, as well as Georgina and Carla Thomas for their support. I'm telling you guys, it's going to get deeper and deeper.
You're not going to get thrown in jail if you drop the F-bomb or crack an ethnic joke, but you're not going to last long. Network television has standards of decency, decorum,
right there.
Taste. Legally, what's on the public airwaves is supposed to serve the public interest. Lying about a crime is actually a big no-no on the networks. They can lose their license. Now, Jimmy Kimmel's not entitled to his job. He said the wrong thing, and now he's in a little trouble. It's happened to a lot of us on TV. ABC suspended Brian Ross for pinning a shooting on the wrong guy. Sound familiar? Whoopi for mangling the Holocaust. Bob Greasy for a taco joke. And they fired Limbaugh and Roseanne for racial stuff. ABC fired Bill Maher for calling the 9/11 hijackers brave.
We have been the cowards, lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly. Staying in the airplane when it hits the building. Say what you want about it, not cowardly.
Did he have a right to say that? Yeah. Was that the wrong thing to say right after 9/11? Yeah. We were still pulling bodies out of the smoking rubble at Ground
So
Zero.
bad.
And Maher was calling Al-Qaeda courageous and America a bunch of wimps.
Do you hear this, guys? I'm telling you, one certain side is always the exact same way. Look at this. It says, in America, this is what Hillary Clinton posted. In America, we defend free speech in terrible times. We defend free speech even when it's offensive. We defend free speech. But guess what? You know who can apply? The only people that can reply or say something about her comment is the accounts that Hillary Clinton follows. So right now, everybody's like, how could you say that you're for free speech when you won't even let people have their own free speech and say what they want about your post? It's so hypocritical, guys. Like, this type of stuff gets me because, again, don't say something if you're going to turn it all around once it comes back to you. And the more and more that we are continuing to expose these people, listen to this, because there was a lot of people on the Democratic side and even some in the center that are getting closer and closer to MAGA, to red. I'm telling you, the red wave is coming, baby. Listen to this, because so many people are just fed up. And they said, you know what? Enough is enough.
Was a sick individual that murdered Charlie Kirk. And we should be focused on the fact that we don't need to be seeing anything like that in the streets of America, no matter where you are. We are a civilized society, okay? We're not supposed to conduct ourselves that way, and we're not supposed to be condoning any such thing. And the only thing that I would say as it pertains to Jimmy Kimmel was, where was the joke? Because you're a late night host. And obviously that has a comedic attachment to it. Where was the joke? Obviously, it wasn't anything funny about that. And so we have to take that into consideration and make sure that we play our positions and understand what we can and cannot say. Because we have a responsibility when we have a camera and a microphone in front of us to articulate ourselves in an appropriate fashion. We can be dogged, we can be opinionated, we can provide perspectives, we could do a lot of things, but we could also be responsible while doing so.
We are going to deconstruct the administrative state. That's what the British commentator was trying to spit out. We're deconstructing the administrative state. We're going to destroy the deep state, but we're also going to destroy the institutions that are trying to perform a color revolution on the American people. President Trump said yesterday, as we've been talking about here in the war room since, was it last Wednesday when we flew out after Charlie was assassinated to Utah, that we need to designate Antifa, and by designating Antifa, you'll roll up this entire group around it. The NGO has been giving them money. You
hear that?
The billionaires, the foreign billionaires have been giving them money. Their media partners, this is what they're sweating. They've designated a terrorist organization, and that means, just like Al-Qaeda and all these other radical Islamic groups that you start to roll up, or at least partially roll up, you can start rolling these up, okay? And it's going to be full on. And here's the thing. I love hearing these people squeal, because people are contacting me and say, hey, can you get on here to debate about the First Amendment? We ain't debating anything. We're taking action.
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel shut down because he tried to he smeared the MAGA movement and really denigrated the memory of Charlie Kirk by lying, like he does all the time, lying and lying and lying. And the affiliates, it's the affiliates that had a belly full and said, hey, look, we got to sell the, the tire, the guys that sell you tires, the local grocery store, the people provide services to folks on these local ads, and we're not going to be able to sell them because people understand this guy's hate-filled. And now they're talking about, if he made a donation. There's no donation he can make big enough. 2 down, 2 to go. Okay, two of the worst. Colbert, and my strongest recommendation to CBS, you've got to pull the plug on Colbert now. Please don't make the nation suffer through. Just pay his contract out. What do you care? The thing about, I could do the math. He loses $40 million a year. The show cost $100. Can you believe that? The show cost $100 million a year to produce. He brings in 60, loses 40. Just shut it down now. You end up losing less money, even if you got to pay off his contract. Just shut it down now. That ought to be the pressure put on CBS. Shut it down now, just like they gave the hook on Jimmy Kimmel. There's no apology. There's no groveling. There's no money. Kimmel is gone. Just get rid of him. You got so much more you got to clean up, and I think as the new owners of CBS and others, they'll start to clean this up. And it is one line of attack. And they say, oh, the playbook of Orban. President Trump doesn't need Orban's playbook, although Viktor Orban, for a small country, did a fabulous job. President Trump's got his own playbook, and he's running through it. Okay, and as we've said, and this is where Charlie invited me to the Student Action Summit back in July, and you guys remember the broadcast we did from there over a couple of days, and you also hopefully remember the speech where I got up and said, hey, of all the great stuff President Trump is doing, all the great stuff that we're fighting for, of everything that's just incredible and wins all over the place, if we don't take apart the deep state, if we don't really get into it and take this apart and understand that anybody that's not with us is against us. You know, you got Mike Pence, you got all these guys blubbering.
And this is what's so important about this, guys. The Senate just confirmed a whopping 48 Trump nominees with a single vote. This is big. This is using the nuclear option, and they changed the rules. Chuck Schumer's mad, but this is a part of cleaning out the deep state, putting people, Trump's nominees in that are MAGA, that are going to put America first. This is a huge, huge deal. 48 nominees confirmed with a single vote. And not only that, the more that we start to see, and Trump is calling out everybody. Ilhan Omar, the woman who they tried to censor, they tried to remove her from committees, but you had 4 Republicans that sided with the Democrats not to censor her, and that's why she didn't get censored. And Trump is calling her out, saying Ilhan Omar's country of Somalia is plagued by a lack of central government. 70% of the population lives in extreme poverty. And all of this, and Ilhan Omar tells us how to run America. This is very true. So not only do they have poverty, hunger, resurgent terrorism, piracy, decades of civil war, she left her country to come to America. Now she's in Congress trying to tell America how to be more like her country when it's one of the worst out there. Trump also said, P.S., wasn't she the one that married her brother in order to gain citizenship? Like, guys, I'm telling you, Trump is not pulling any punches. What scum we have in our country telling us what to do and how to do it. Let me know your thoughts, because that is one of the most direct, one of the most just right in the face of one of the Democrats, socialists, progressives out there. Thomas Brewer, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. He said, don't know Kathy, but glad to see she supports your channel. I love it. Y'all show Thomas some love in the chat, as well as Marker951 said, Joel, missed your birthday yesterday. Sorry. Happy birthday. God bless you, your family, and all the work you do. Thank you so much, Marker951. We appreciate you. Show Marker some love in the chat, as well as Thomas Brewer. And don't forget Chris Prez for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. And go ahead and show Mr. Norby some love, because this dude gave like 80, 100 or something like that memberships yesterday. Growing the family. I love it, guys. We got to root out. We got to root all this stuff out. And again, too, America First policies.
Pence is blubbering, that sanctimonious voice and talking about the Bible, right? The Bible says, Mike Pence. Judas Pence. Hey, read the section on Judas, dude. That's the part of the Bible you got to know, because you're a traitor to President Trump, the MAGA movement, and the country, because the 2020 election was stolen. Did you hear any of these people, by the way? Did you hear any of them complain or say, well, First Amendment and free speech? You see anybody about free speech with War Room and so many other individuals and podcasts, including President Trump, when they ripped him off, Twitter and Facebook, when he's still president of the United States? Do you remember anything about free speech, the arguments for free speech? You know why? They only do it when they're losing. So you sit there on your shows, and you sit there on MSNBC and CNN, New York Times, and editorials, and Karl Rove, right up in the Wall Street Journal. We don't give a tinker's damn about your thoughts on the First Amendment. President Trump, and I think the FCC and others are going to start shutting stuff down. And here's what's happening. This came from the people that have the capital applied at the affiliate level. and where the rubber meets the road, where really the American people make decisions on what they're going to watch. And guess what? Jimmy Kimmel's not sellable, as Steve Colbert's not sellable. If he was sellable, why does he lose $40 million a year? That is a donation. That is a payment in kind to the Democratic Party. If I was the Justice Department, I strongly recommend looking at old CBS and going through it and Stephen Colbert. And why is that not a Federal Election Commission violation? Because it's a it's a payment in kind to the Democratic Party. He's spewing his hate. What they did analysis, I don't really forget, 900 liberal progressive Democrats to 1 Republican. It doesn't even matter. The Republican he's going to put up there is like a Kinzinger or Liz Cheney.
Guys, let me tell you this. I hope you appreciate this, because I'm telling you, if we're not dropping the facts today, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for helping us grow our family, grow this voice that we have here at TrueLife News, because I'm telling you this, a lot of this stuff you will not hear on the mainstream media, a lot of stuff that's happening, but we want to show you and not forget how corrupt the government was under the Biden administration. A source tells Fox News that Joe Biden's former chief of staff said the former president's son, Hunter Biden, joined pardoned discussions and attended multiple meetings. Why in the world would Hunter Biden need to be in the room discussing anything about pardons? Now, you tell me, guys, put it in the chat, in the comments. I'm telling you, this type of stuff, it's so corrupt. It's so bad. It's just, imagine Donald Trump says, oh, hey, what's his son's name? The really big, tall one. Barron. Oh, hey, Barron. Why don't you come in? We're going to talk about pardons, and come on, let me get your opinion. No need for it, y'all. But right here, all this stuff that's breaking, like this stuff, Hunter Biden was involved in the pardon talks towards the end of his father's term, source says. Are you kidding me? My goodness, it's so bad. The swamp is so deep. It's so bad. Mr. Norby, oh my goodness, guys. Take some time. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat for gifting 50, guys, 50 TrueLife News memberships on the channel. Growing the family. Oh my goodness. Show Mr. Norby some love. True OG of the channel. Brother, we couldn't do it without you. Everybody here, everybody in the chat, we couldn't do it without you. When you're watching, you make TrueLife News come alive. Sharing our videos, Facebook, X, all that stuff, and the giving that we're doing, and my heart is just so elated. I love it, because this is what I like envision, and I literally told somebody yesterday, I said, it's just gonna keep growing. We will literally be known in the United States as one of the biggest givers to local charities through this channel, through our voice. America first, baby. Taking care of our own. I love it. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat if you got a free membership from him, because I'm telling you, this is just the beginning.
It's pure Trump hate every day. This is what drives these assassinations. This is what gets people worked up. Have you seen anybody on the right? Everybody's very upset. Everybody's very concerned. The vigils have been peaceful. They're getting ready for Charlie's funeral service or celebration of life, and the religious service around it for Sunday. We'll make more announcements tomorrow, but Real America's Voice, we're going to be there wall to wall for like, I don't know, hours and hours. We'll cover everything live, plus we'll have a pregame, we'll have a post wrap up to make sure you understand everything. As Charlie Kirk, this is the first state funeral of the MAGA movement. Charlie Kirk's. And now we have a scalp in Jimmy Kimmel, and there are going to be many, many, many more scalps. So they can whine and they can cry and they get in the fetal position. As I said, Sergeant Boone Cutler, an American hero and patriot, passed away, partner of Mike Flynn, his co-author of many books, passed away early this morning. I believe they said it was a heart attack.
Wow.
On Sergeant Boone Cutler, paratrooper, American patriot and American hero. We're going to take a short...
I want to show you this, y'all, because again, it's like, look, if you're a Democrat and you start doing right and you start voting right and putting America first, I will 100% give you credit. I don't really care. where to me, doing the right thing, you can change. And whenever people vote the right way, we thank them. I'm not the type of person to never give credit across the aisle whenever the other side does something good. We have to be able to be big enough to do that. But we also call out everybody. So this is the big one right here. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries voted yes, while Democrat Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez voted no on a resolution honoring Charlie Kirk. Hakeem Jeffries is the leader. He did the right thing. He voted yes. Because people are watching and people are fed up with all this pettiness. We know that Charlie Kirk may not have agreed with them on their stances and political views and whatnot, but guess what? He did it in a peaceful way. He did exactly how you were supposed to do it. He didn't go and burn down buildings. He didn't go and beat people up or have anything done like that. He did it the right way. And for somebody to vote no, but yet I give it to him. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries voted yes. You did the right thing, brother. Thank you. But your people got to get in line. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm telling you, if people don't get over this stuff, we're never going to be unified as a country. Because listen to this. There is so much happening. It is insane what is going on behind the scenes. Listen to this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, good to see you. Thank you for being here. You're leading the FBI at a very critical time for that agency and also a critical time for our country. And I want to start by talking to you about the tide of violence that we have seen, ideological violence against people of faith, particularly Christians. You just think here, take a rough catalog. Just in the last couple of years, we've seen shooting at the Covenant School, Christian school in Nashville. We've seen school shooting at the Annunciation School. We've seen church shootings multiply. We've seen acts of crime and violence, vandalism, arson against churches and parishes all across the country. And then, of course, last week, Charlie Kirk, who said, "I want to be remembered for my courage, for my faith," was shot on a college campus. Let me just start with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Is the FBI, and I appreciate the tremendous work the FBI has done in this investigation, is the FBI investigating the Kirk assassination as part of this broader pattern of anti-religious, anti-Christian violence?
We are investigating Charlie's assassination fully and completely, and running out every lead related to any allegation of broader violence, and we're producing results on that we'll disclose when appropriate.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Let me just ask you a few questions about that, if I could. Sure. Reports have suggested that the FBI is investigating a broader network of groups that may have had some knowledge of the shooter's
right there,
plans.
guys.
Can you give us any details on that, following up what you already said in public? How's the FBI working to find other potential accomplices, folks who may have known about the shooter's plans, folks who may have encouraged him? Any update on any of that?
So in terms of what we do for an interrogation perspective, we go and reach out to the family and community immediately. And we've conducted those investigations and interrogations with local law enforcement, and we're continuing to do that because those closest to the suspect are going to hopefully know the most about the suspect and his beliefs and his ideology. On top of that, unfortunately, it has been leaked that there was a Discord chat, and for those unfamiliar with it, it's a gaming chat room online that the suspect participated in. So what we're doing, we've already done, is serve legal process, not just on Discord, so that the information we gathered is sustained and held in a evidentiary posture that we could use in prosecution should it be decided to do so. And we're also going to be investigating anyone and everyone involved in that Discord chat.
Okay, very good. I see the public reports that the Discord thread had as many as 20 additional users. It sounds like you're trying to run down all of that to see if that's accurate, who else may have been on that thread, what they may have known. Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that, and we're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20?
Yes, sir.
And you're running all of that to ground?
Every single one.
Yeah, fantastic. Let me just turn to the broader question here of anti-religious, anti-Christian violence. Let me just give you a few stats that I'm sure that you're all too familiar with. Every person of faith in America certainly is. Major report this past year found that there have been over 400 instances of hostility against churches in the United States in the year 2024. Those included arsons, bomb threats, shootings, and firearm incidents. Another organizational report found that there were 500 attacks on Catholic parishes alone. So that number 415, that's all Christian churches in 2024. Another organization found 500 separate attacks on just Catholic parishes since May of 2020. Of course, we have the Covenant school shooting, the Annunciation school shooting in Minnesota, where 2 children were shot dead as they were praying in a pew. Here's my question. What is the FBI doing to take on this rising tide of violence that seems to be motivated by anti-religious hatred?
Specifically, sir, we have 60 anti-Catholic hate crime incidences reported to us that are being investigated. Publicly, I can tell you we have 5 hate crime investigations with anti-Catholic bias ongoing currently in the states, in the cities of Kansas City, Louisville, Houston, Nashville, and Richmond. That's what I can say publicly. But any ideologically based attack against any faith, as a man of faith myself, will not be tolerated, and the full resources of the FBI are committed to all of it.
Are you investigating any domestic cells that instigate or encourage or fund or in any way support attacks on churches or other houses of worship?
Senator, you raise an incredibly important point that most people don't look at. I've always said we follow the money, and whether it's terrorism or attacks based on ideology or attacks on institutions of faith or people of faith, someone's paying for it, and we are reverse tracing those steps. We are not stopping at the perpetrator themselves. We are reverse engineering to hold those accountable in our investigations to who funded them and knowingly funded them, and we will bring the appropriate steps against them with our partners at DOJ.
Good, I'm glad.
Let me tell you this, guys, because I'm telling you, this is becoming more of a reality, and if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this is a big thing that's coming out now. Socialist Squad member AOC is eyeing a 2028 presidential run. There is big money that is being put behind her to fight who I believe, let me know your thoughts, I think it's going to be a Vance Rubio ticket in 2028. And there is a lot of big money that's being put behind her to beat them, to continue. Again, socialism is not America. Communism is not America. But yet we have these people that are getting these billions of dollars of support to try and turn America, which is a capitalistic society, into something that it's not, in order to destroy it. And these people, they want to say, oh, go after the billionaires and oh, go after the millionaires. Yet the people in Congress are the ones who control the laws. The people in Congress are the ones who continue putting us into national, more debt. The people in Congress are the ones who continue to do what? Give our money overseas. With no audits, no paper trails. The people in Congress are the ones who, in the Treasury, you didn't even have to put a dang note. Like when you signed a check and you have that memo that says, oh yeah, this is what it's for. You would think in the Treasury of the United States federal government that they would be required to put a reason why millions or hundreds of millions or billions of dollars go out, yet they didn't have to. There's corruptness so much, and we have to drain the swamp, but this is a big thing that's coming out right now, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I don't want to see it happen, but when you have a lot of money and you can rig the system, because you know they rigged the 2020 election, stuff happens. Tito Flip, welcome to the family. Let's go. Show Tito some love in the chat. And guys, don't forget to show Mr. Norby some love in the chat for gifting 50 TrueLife News memberships on the channel, growing the family, OG of the channel. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat.
To hear that, we look forward to hearing reports on that progress. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Let me just ask you this in the same vein, Director. Since the Dobbs decision, the FBI has advertised $25,000 rewards for information on attacks on abortion clinics. Will the FBI similarly offer rewards for information on attacks of houses of worship?
Yes, when it is appropriate, the rewards are any reward, whether it's an attack on a house of faith or on a homicide or whatever, is determined by a group within the FBI. But we will work with them to make sure that rewards of monetary value are put out for all ideologically based attacks.
Good. You just rattled off some statistics, which I was glad to hear, about the number of investigations you have open, the incidents you're tracking against Christians, against houses of worship. Let me just ask you if you consider designating a senior official as a liaison to houses of worship, to Christian other religious organizations, to publish metrics on investigations and arrests related to church attacks, church threats, vandalism, arson, etc. Will you set up a system for liaising and then reporting so that everybody can see, this committee and the public can see just how many attacks we're talking about, just what the level of threat and violence is and what the FBI is doing to combat it?
Senator, you're speaking my language. The private-public sector partnership on this specific issue, just like the other ones we've talked about, is equally transformative to finding those involved in these criminal activities. And with your assistance, and I would ask you if you're able to identify someone who's an expert in that area, we will work with them. We will take their information because as great as the FBI is, we're only as good as the information we can get, and we don't have the reach that the private sector does in some of these areas.
Wow. Very good. Happy to help on that. Let me ask you about something specific to the FBI, because sadly, as you know, the FBI, when it comes to anti-religious animus, has been part of the problem before you got to this agency.
Ooh.
And I know that you remember the infamous memo generated by the FBI that attempted to recruit informants in houses of worship, in particular in Catholic parishes. Your predecessor testified when this information, I just want to reiterate, this memo became public because of a whistleblower. It was not turned over to this committee. It was not disclosed to this committee. In fact, we were told it didn't exist, and then a whistleblower published it, showing that indeed the FBI had recruited informants, attempted to, into Catholic parishes. Your predecessor then testified, sitting right where you are today, he testified that this, I'm going to quote, was a single product by a single field office, end quote. That was a lie. Because we then had additional whistleblowers come forward and say, no, actually, multiple field offices contributed to the drafting of the report. And indeed, there was a second anti-Catholic memo that the FBI generated. And indeed, those memos were distributed to over 1,000 FBI agents across the country. You know all of this. You and I talked about it when you were here for your confirmation hearing back in January. I just want to follow up and see, have you been able to determine how this memo got written and distributed? How is it that the Federal Bureau of Investigation came to be recruiting informants in Christian churches in this country?
Senator, we did dig in, and we are doing our investigation simultaneously with Congress. And just to put it in perspective, we've provided 700 documents on the Richmond Catholic memo specifically to this committee, whereas my predecessor provided 19 pages. And not only that, but we looked into how the source recruitment structure at the FBI was conducted during this time. And we made adjustments and permanent fixes to ensure that sources are not put into houses of worship unless there is an actual ongoing criminal or international terrorism threat. We will not use sources at this FBI to investigate and cull information just for the sake of culling information in houses of worship.
Has anybody been fired for this?
There have been terminations related to this and resignations.
Wow.
Good.
Let me tell you this, guys. You cannot make up what is happening right now. We bring you the breaking news on this channel, guys. I hope you appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Leftists have just slashed the tires of an ICE vehicle near Chicago, because right now, Operation Midway Blitz is happening in Chicago to go after the criminals, to go after the crime. And they literally, like this video, the vehicle, let me make this, the vehicle is trying to drive, but they've done slashed the tires. And you can see it just in a moment, but this is crazy how far they're going. Look, the back tire is flat. I don't know if you can see it. Let me blow this up a little bit. Look right here. You can see the back tire is flat because they've done slashed the tires. How do you work with people like this? And then, not only that, you're not going to believe what I show you next, okay? Because this is literally a sitting member of Congress who says, just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. You can't, like this is not common sense. We're not living in the same reality, guys. Like, if you commit a crime, the definition of crime and the literally the root word of criminal is crime. And it is a person who has committed a crime. Let me know your thoughts, guys. We're living in a crazy times. Like I just showed you, the ICE is just trying to do their jobs. They're slashing vehicles. I hope that those people get arrested. I hope that those people face justice. It is just nuts what is going on right now. Jeff Shelbourne, welcome to the family. Let's go. Show Jeff some love in the chat, as well as Ms. Justice. Thank you so much for your support. So why hasn't the Pope spoken out on this? The Pope came out and spoke. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to look it up, but he did say something about it. But y'all show Ms. Justice some love in the chat, member of the channel. Thank you so much. And show Jeff some love in the chat as well, new member of the family. Where it's what you're about to hear next too. Again, with this whole new government shutdown stuff, Speaker Mike Johnson telling us what's going on. It is just mind-blowing that we're living in America and you have sitting representatives that are saying, we are going to shut down the government for the American people if you do not give us this much money for illegals to give them health care.
We have made it clear we want a bipartisan negotiation, but Republicans don't. Donald Trump is heading America towards a shutdown by not negotiating. Thune and Johnson, listen to Trump. They are not independent actors.
Well, let's talk about the government funding fight and other topics on Capitol Hill with House Speaker Mike Johnson. Mr. Speaker, thanks for the time.
Hey, Brett, great to be with you. It's comical what Chuck Schumer just said there. Can I tell you what's really going on here,
sir.
Brett? So we've been working really hard to get the House back to the regular appropriations order, and we've achieved that. In the House, in a bipartisan fashion, they passed all 12 appropriations bills through the committee, 3 of them off the floor. The Senate passed 3 bills. Remember the old videos on Saturday mornings about how a bill becomes a law? If the House and the Senate disagree on an appropriation spending bill, they go to a conference committee to work it out. We voted to do that. All this is working well, but we're coming up on the end of the fiscal year, September 30th. So we need a few more weeks to finish this good work. So what we did in a responsible manner as Republicans in charge is we offered a totally clean short-term CR to get that job done. Chuck Schumer saw that. He returned a counteroffer that is filled with partisan wish lists and poison pills and demands. It includes, for example, Brett, what Chuck Schumer is arguing for. He wants to reinstate free health care for illegal aliens. He wants to add $500 million to prop up liberal media outlets. And he wants to add a massive $1.4 trillion spending hike to what should be a simple 7-week stopgap funding measure. We can't do that. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, I'm just a bill sitting here on Capitol Hill. I remember it well.
Right.
So with all that said, are you going to avoid a government shutdown?
Republicans are going to do the responsible thing. We will pass a CR here tomorrow out of the House. I suspect, it sounds like we won't have many Democrats to assist in that, and that's a really sad state of affairs.
But do you have the votes tonight, Mr. Speaker?
I believe we have the votes to do it, yes. We'll send it over to the Senate, and I suspect they'll be able to process that. Now, Chuck Schumer is going to have to make a choice. If he wants to shut the government down, he will own the consequences of that, and everybody will be able to see exactly what's going on here.
You know, we just heard Scott Perry from Pennsylvania saying that he may have more leverage as you get closer because you can't lose that many votes here. Congressman Steve Womack from Arkansas, he's expressed some holding things up. He's an appropriator. You sure you got all the votes?
Well, look, it's always down to the wire here because we have one of the smallest margins in U.S. history. But I think at the end of the day, we'll do the right thing, keep the government open. This is the responsible thing to do, and we're going to work very hard to make sure that happens.
Are you anticipating, we're hearing that the Senate plans, should you pass the CR overnight or in the morning, the Senate plans to do a vote at noon tomorrow and then take up your CR. Do you anticipate the Senate making changes and sending it back to you?
We'll have to see. I mean, the smart thing to do would be to just passed this simple. As I said, it's very simple, very clean, as we say here. There's no extraneous matters attached, no partisan matters. We're doing this in good faith because we genuinely just need to buy a little more time for the appropriator to do their job. I can't understand how anybody could make a rational argument against that unless they're trying to use it for partisan political purposes. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
In the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, there's a lot of concerns all over the place, but there is concern from a lot of lawmakers about security. There's money in that bill to enhance member security, yet members really don't feel that safe. Does money fix the problem? You all have added money for security really every year since Gabby Giffords was shot in Arizona.
We have, and look, I always want to be quick to say members of Congress are safe. They do have substantial security measures in their residence and their person, but when you have a big event like we had with the tragic shooting of our friend Charlie Kirk, it draws attention to it, and we're in a constant process of improvement, making sure that we have the latest and greatest technology and resources available. So that's the process we've been going through. We're adding additional funding and measures to ensure that everybody's safe and that they can do their job representing the people from back home. I think this is a...
And what they're talking about, everybody, is this right here. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is big stuff. They're talking about this an additional $10,000 in security. And I just thought about it because he just said the quiet part out loud. They already have security, but I'm going to ask Grok, who is our preferred AI. Like, you have ChatGPT. They're very left biased. Grok is with X, with Elon Musk, which is more neutral, center right. But how much money do Congress reps get in security each month? Because I promise you, it's probably a lot. He said they've been adding it every single year. Okay, so that was 5,000. Now it's 10,000 with what you're seeing on the screen per month in security costs, with an additional $20,000 in home security equipment for like security for the house, cameras, things like that. So that's a lot of money. We calculated earlier, I think it was like $52 million a year, because when stuff like this happens, you always hear about the copycats. You hear about people that want to, continue the momentum. It's terrible. It's horrendous. But this is where we're at right now, is that you have people that are fueled by rhetoric from the left. Whenever the left says that you're a fascist, Nazi, Hitler, existential threat to democracy, we have to stop them at all costs. We have to do something. What do you expect there's going to be some person out there out of the 330 million people in America that will do something stupid like what they did with Charlie Kirk. And again, you would even say that person wasn't even that out there. But look what can happen, and that's why they need the security. Nadine Jones, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, what is wrong with that woman's mentality? That Crockett woman, she has some serious mental issues. Yeah, guys, again, this is what Nadine's talking about. We appreciate you, Nadine, so much. You can't logically work with somebody who says just because someone has committed a crime doesn't make them a criminal. Like, that doesn't even make any sense whatsoever. There's a difference also between a criminal and a career criminal. Mr. Norby with the 10 gifted TrueLife new memberships. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the chat, guys, for giving another 10 memberships today on the channel, as well as what he's gave before. Brother, you are so kind. Thank you so much for your support. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love for gifting 60 TrueLife News memberships today. And don't forget to show Colleen Beaver some love in the chat. Said, Joel, you do a great job, and I thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much, Colleen. We appreciate you so much and your blessings and your support. Show Robert Cash some love in the chat. Said the people who slash those tires should be made to buy new ones and change them and do community service. Amen. And what he's talking about is this right here for those that have joined us. Leftists just slashed the tires of ICE vehicles near Chicago. It's getting bad, everybody. And it's like we have to. Because somebody literally told me, like, I was talking with somebody and they said, oh, we have to just, we have to just get them out of office. I said, no, they got to be removed. Like, when that ideology is there, you have to, to me, get them a one-way ticket and go somewhere else. Because they're going to continue to try to bring that ideology into all of America. And America doesn't want it. The majority of America wants safe, security, America first policies. And that's what you're about to hear here.
It also has an element of awareness, too. So we're doing training with members and offering every resource we possibly can to ensure that we can keep this system going.
You know, we saw in Chad's piece the members yelling about fascism, Nazi, and Third Reich. It doesn't seem like the temperature's coming down much.
Look, it's a time of high emotion. Leaders here are trying to turn the temperature down. We're working every day to do that. We do well to remember that we're all fellow Americans, and even though we can have heated debates, we shouldn't be animated by hate for people on the other side. I mean, look, Charlie Kirk showed that as well as anybody. That's his legacy. The legacy of our friend is he loved vigorous debate. He was the best at it. But he never hated anybody on the other side. He was the very first person to reach out a hand of friendship or put his arm around the shoulder of somebody who he had just disagreed with. And that's the model that we need to continue here. It's important for our system of government to operate that way.
You're right. Charlie Kirk was all about free speech and going around the country and engaging. What do you say to Democrats or folks on the left who say that there is now this effort to go after free speech on the left? You have just last night ABC suspending Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely over his remarks after Charlie Kirk's death. Then you have Democrats saying that like Adam Schiff, Kimmel, Colbert, suits against the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, 60 Minutes. They're concerned what will be left of the First Amendment when the president is done. How do you respond to that?
Well, listen, my background is in the courts. I was a federal court litigator, literally defended free speech as a career for about 20 years, religious freedom and the freedom of speech and our fundamental rights. We have to jealously guard that, and I think we are. ABC is a private company. You've heard a lot of consternation about private companies firing or reprimanding employees for going online and glorifying the tragic death of a young father and young husband, and it's detestable. So in the private employer space, you have all the right in the world to have standards for your company, standards for your broadcast brand, and they get to make that decision. And I don't think that's a violation of the First Amendment. You don't have a First Amendment right to stay employed if you're going to engage in that kind of crazy action online. And in many cases, it really is inciting further violence. It's a serious problem.
Yep, and I want to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you, man, all this stuff is breaking today. So I want to give some good news over Turning Point. This was Charlie Kirk's organization. Whenever he passed away, there was 3,100 chapters, 3,100. Now they have received over 62,000. Think about that, 62,000 new chapter request, college and high school. If that's not leaving a legacy, I don't know what is. That is so powerful. And again, we have to get to the money, y'all. Oh my goodness, look at this. George Soros drops massive donation into Newsom's redistricting effort to counter Trump. So they're trying to redistrict California so that it's purely just Democratic House seats in California, and George Soros has given him another $10 million in order to help with this. Look at this. Gave $10 million to Newsom's effort to redraw California's congressional lines. I'm telling you guys, like, how in the world? George Soros isn't even I'm pretty sure this dude's not a citizen. Is George Soros a citizen of the USA? Okay, he is. He is a citizen. He was born in Hungary. He immigrated to the United States in 1956, naturalized in 1961. Dang, but still, what do y'all think about this? It's like, it's always fun. I mean, I know that we're redistricting in Florida and Texas and things like that, but It's always one person where the money comes from. That's all I'm saying. Domino Riot, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, I hope the Republicans don't let the Democrats snake them out of money again. Amen. Thank you so much, Domino Riot. Show Domino some love in the chat, everybody. We see it time and time again that they need 60 votes in the Senate. We need to make sure that we don't cave, but I just don't have the strongest confidence in Johnson or in Thune. Let me know your thoughts.
Ending where we began on the continuing resolution, I talked to you in December of 24, and you were working on a CR then, and I said, it's not your favorite thing. You campaigned on not doing it, and you said, yeah, well, in principle, we don't like continuing resolutions. Yet here we are again. And is this what's going to be funding the government?
No, this one is actually very different. It really is, Brett, and that's why everybody on the conservative side of the spectrum all the way across is in favor of it, because what we're doing, as I explained, is we're just buying a little more time to finish the appropriations process the way it's supposed to work. We're building that muscle memory back, and that's a really good thing for the institution. So this is just a simple, very short stopgap measure to allow us the time to do that. And I'm calling on all my Democrat colleagues to come along with us and do the right thing. This is the best way to ensure good stewardship of taxpayer dollars. We've got to do it the old-fashioned way and the way that statute says it's supposed to work. And it's like pushing a boulder uphill, Brett. I'm trying to get back to that, but we just need a little more time to do it.
Is it going to be a long night for Chad Pergram up there?
Let me tell you this, guys. With what's coming out right now, if Trump hasn't been right about everything, oh my goodness, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is big, big stuff. Trump appointed Federal Reserve Governor Stephen Miran. So he's the new appointed Federal Reserve Governor. Listen to what he has to say about inflation, about the deportations, what's happening. Because I'm telling you, if the Democrats didn't cause all the main issues that we have, when you let in 20 million people, logically you have to know they've got to live somewhere. And they're probably going to rent an apartment or rent a house. And what happens? It drives up demand. Well, whenever they leave, the demand goes down. Prices go down. Inflation goes down. Listen to what he has to say. This is the new Fed governor that Trump appointed.
Drivers. And think about it this way. The supply of shelter, the supply of homes is relatively fixed in the short run. You can't just, pick houses off trees. They take a while to be built. And when you have big population shocks, it moves around the price of shelter. If you add millions of new immigrants into a country in a short period of time, it's going to drive shelter prices up. And then if you close that border and then you have negative net migration, and there's been reports thus far that 1.5 million migrants have left the United States just in the first half of the year this year. And so that's going to have a very disinflationary effect. And so I'm expecting that to exert quite a lot of disinflation.
So you weren't the
drivers. And think about it this way. The supply.
When you have a shock in population growth, that's what you get. And again, it's just right now, I just cannot, my heart just, you want to unify, you want to bring together the people from the left and the right, but there's no way on God's green earth this is common sense. Just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That's what a representative from the Democratic side said. Doesn't make any sense. No logical thought process whatsoever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because I'm telling you, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, we may need a national divorce. Like, are we going to get to that point because of what we're dealing with right here? It's just illogical. It's irrational. And again, I just want to say, for those that are watching, if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button. And if you haven't done so already, hitting the thumbs up like button. It really does help our channel out so much, and helping us to grow our voice, grow this family. I love our chat. I love watching the chat go, and I try to get in when I can. But I'm at the same time, I'm always looking for breaking news that's happening, because I want to give you the most breaking news, even while we're doing our live show. But it means so much to me, everybody that has donated today. Remember, when you give to this channel on the 22nd of every single month, we donate to a local charity live on stream. And this month, it's going to be to a local children's home. And my heart just goes out, because when we started this, I think like the first month we gave like $300 or something like that. And then last month we gave, I think, $3,100, $3,100. And it's just like, God is so good. Y'all are so awesome. And us partnering with y'all, we are giving more and more every single month. And it's all because of you all. Growing the family. I want to give some special love to Mr. Norby, OG of the channel, for gifting 60 TrueLife News memberships today. If you got a free membership, show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. Chris Prez for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. Show some love to Chris Prez, OG of the channel too. Thank you so much, Carla Thomas, for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. And thank you so much, Carla, for that gift. Me and my wife, we're going to go and have us a dinner on that for your birthday gift. Thank you so much. Y'all show Carla some love in the chat. Show Sandra, JG, welcome to the family. Georgina Budney, thank you so much. Thomas Brewer, Marker 951. Lisa Anderson, thank you so much. Tito Flip, Jeff Shelbourne, welcome to the family. Miss Justice, Nadine Jones, thank you so much for your support. Robert Cash, thank you, brother. Colleen Beaver, these members of the channel, thank you so much. Domino Riot, thank you so much for your support. And Jim Barbado, OG of the channel too, as well, with the super chat. I love the GIF, the superhero. Is that me? Am I like gonna turn into the superhero from my chair? Y'all show Jim Barbado some love in the chat, everybody. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for sharing our videos on X, on Facebook. It means so much to us. We just want to continue serving you every day. And when I see the chat and the super chat growing and the members growing, our chat, I love it. Great people like Jim, Mr. Norby, Chris Prez, Alice Lewis, April Green, B1 Sly One, everybody in the chat that's given. Cindy Lopez, Alice Lewis, Tigress, April Green, Jeff Shelbourne, like my heart. I just want to, guys, this is getting so big and it's all because of you all. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.